talk about Einstein's theory, E equals mc². Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. You break the mass down, you will have X amount of energy. But if you bring the energy together, you get an equal amount of mass. The reverse works the same. Now, I went back and I talked about the Big Bang. And I talked about how everything has come together to a point where it's so condensed and it creates so much breakdown of mass. It creates all this energy, and energy in a way that you don't really recognize it as what you call everyday energy. So we're at the beginning of a universe. Now, what happens? Energy in time begins to cool. In time. In space. Space is created in the... So the only thing faster than light, Einstein said there's nothing faster than light in this universe. I'm sorry, but I beg to differ. Space. Space precedes light because space is finer than light. Through space, it cools. Cools, it becomes mass. And all the stages, as it cools more and more, and all the stages of mass until we come to here we are. Now, I said these things because I want you to understand that at the basis of everything is energy. You are energy. Everything is energy. So when you start to deal with things, you have to realize that it is constructed by the energy you put into it. The kind of energy you put into it. That would be like saying the kind of energy starting at 0 to time 3. Time 3 being the amount of time something changes in the universe from the moment of the Big Bang. You are that. What you create is that by the energy that you hold in you. Now, what happens when you hold this energy? When you keep this energy from moving to the next point, it stagnates and it turns against you. When you suppress, what we have to do is to learn to accept the truth, absolutely. It's just true. It's not good or bad. It's just true. Now, do you want to feel it or don't you want to feel it? You don't want to feel it, you run from it. Look around you at the numbers of people who run from the truth. What is it I want to do? See, this is how we want to clean things up. And if you don't do that, what do? You suppress the energy. You learn to do that the first time you understand, stop that, as a child. Stop that. Well, the parent doesn't give a damn whether you understand it or not. They want you to stop. If you're about to set the house on fire, they don't have time to be philosophizing with you. It's stop. It's stop. Okay? And at the same time, if you notice, children just say what they say. If the energy moves, they just say it. We may not like to hear it, but they say it. Teacher goes before her class. And she's thinking about that, and she's looking at her children. She says, I wonder how many of these children actually think they're stupid? And she said, I think I'll ask. Said, how many of you in here think you're stupid? Raise your hand. One little boy, Johnny, raised his hand. And she said, Johnny, you don't really think you're stupid, do you? He said, no, I just didn't want you standing there by yourself. He just said what he just said, the energy. Okay. But we as adults, we learn that we can say or not say for what various reasons. That's up to us. The point is not to suppress. Not to suppress it, because suppresses, it turns against your body in all manner of ways when you suppress. It can be cancerous, it can be just all kinds of things, because the energy is not flowing. And you want the energy flowing into your creative centers. You want your energy flowing totally, purely, simply. Okay? Your brain, your thought, this is the linear thought, is your tool, is your guide. It guides the energy. What you say to yourself or how you hold yourself, what you do. You know, if I'm tight all the time, then this energy is not going to move. It's going to become putrid. Then the mind is putrid. It cannot think outside of its confinement. When I can relax, that's why when I talk about the technique, you look at the design of that technique. It is to relax. Put your attention where the energy is or where the feeling is, and just relax that spot. It's taking the top off the energy movement. It's taking the pressure off. Once the pressure is off, once you feel that energy move, oh, it feels good. Now it gets to another spot. Oh, it may be here. You have to do the same thing again, 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 because it's about the energy. What we want to do is figure it out. You can't figure it out because your thoughts really have nothing to do with that. They have nothing to do with that. What has to do with the solution is relaxing and letting go. That is what has to do with the solution. But what we want to do is figure it out from this level. There's no figuring it out. I know what I know because I went there and looked back and said, oh, now I understand. But you got to get there and look back before you understand the linear process. As long as you're in the linear process, you're not going to understand it. When you stand outside of it, you see it working. And you see what it is. And as long as you are honest, if you are honest about what's going on, you get it.